All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talk at 8, episode 60. So
Oh,
we've been
wow.
around. We've been doing this for a few comrades circles. We're now on our 60th episode. Welcome if today is your first time that you tuned into Talk at 8. It's a show where we talk about sport and how sport has changed people's lives. Today is no different, but today we focus on a small little event that happened 2 weeks ago. People are crazily running from Durban to Pietermaritzburg. Um, my name's Alton. I'll be the host.
Mhm.
You're welcome to ask your questions, comments in the chat, whether on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. We've got a range of different experiences from a novice on a maiden voyage. We've got Nancy, we've got Ino, who's got the back-to-back. We've got Brent, who's done 11 of these small little adventures. So we'll get a collective experience of what's it like. But before we get to that, I want each of them just to tell us a little bit about them, who they are, and how they got into this event. And we'll start with we'll start with a baby of the event. Nancy, tell us a little bit about you.
Nancy.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nancy. I've been running for a bit, but just social running and a few races here and there. And and comrades, the supporting, I stay in Durban. So it's always been fun supporting my friends on Comrades Day. And then last year I was part of the marathon travel, where I was in Comrades. So that was quite fun. So there the seed was actually sown for why I did Comrades. And so this year I did it. So yeah.
Yeah, Nancy started last year. Nancy was Fear and Flum supporter. Nancy worked with me. We managed, I think it was 60 international athletes that we had to look after. This year, Nancy, I had to do it without you, but I'm impressed that going from a zero base almost of running to finish a mammoth event. What does it feel like for you at this point?
It's awesome. It's still a bit surreal. Like even today at work, people are still like, "Yay, congratulations!" And you have the same story being told over and over, but everyone is so excited to hear the same story. So it's really awesome. It's been phenomenal.
Everybody asks you a story, just hold it up.
No, I have to tell it. It's my story.
No. We understand. You're wearing your back-to-back medal. Tell us what a back-to-back medal is first before we get to your story.
So the back-to-back medal, it means you run 2 years consecutive following. So last year we ran most from Durban to Maritzburg. Am I right? No. We ran from other way around. Yeah, so we ran from Maritzburg to Durban. That was last year, 2023. So this year I had to go back. And then this year, when I was going back, when I found out that I'm getting 2 medals, I was excited. So this year we ran from Durban to Pietermaritzburg. And then that's where I was able to get these 2 medals that I'm proud of and I'm loving them and everything. So yeah, running the Comrades, it's mad, it's exciting, it was horrible. The ninth, the up run is terrible, and I will say we are lucky. All the people who finished, and then I found out that this year a lot of people got sick, and then a lot of people couldn't even run, and then other ones they ran but they got sick on their runs and everything. So for me, all I knew, I wanted a sub 10 actually, but of which I got sub 11. But I knew I was going to PB my last time of last year, and then I knew I was running under 11:30. So for me, finishing this year, it's the best. It's the best for me. So yeah, these medals are the best. I still pinching myself.
Those are
They
so
are
small
small.
medals. How can it be the best? You won. You got bigger medals. That's a small medal.
But these medals are the best. Running for this small medal is the whole world. This is the small medal, and then the race is so long, the whole day. Who runs
Yeah,
for
for a
the whole
small
day?
medal, that don't make sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes very nice sense. But yeah, I love these medals. I love these medals. So all in all, I'm saying next year, I was telling everyone, unfortunately, I'm not doing the comrades next year. Everyone was saying, try something else. So if things goes well, I'm giving this away. I might go to Mauritius next year. And then 2026, I'm going to Ireland because a friend of mine is moving to Ireland. And then he said, there's a nice marathon there. So I'm going. And then 2027, unfortunately, and everyone is going there. 100 comrades, everyone is going there. So I'm going back on 2027
Okay.
for my third
Good
one.
plan. Good plan. We'll support you. But now let's park the plan. Tell us how you got into running.
Okay, I got into running in 2026 when I was divorcing. So when I was divorcing my ex-husband, what happened is I got frustrated and everything, and then I saw one of my colleagues every week. She was posing every Monday on Facebook, and then on the third week, I phoned her. I said, "Hey, I see you are running," and then I used to run at school. Yeah, when I was young, I ran at school. I was running, and then I play even soccer and everything. And then when I got married, everything stopped. And then knowing that I can run, so I went back. So the first run that I did, it was 2016 when it was FNB. So after going back from then, running that race, I went back. I joined Celtics that year, and then I ran until today. And then the running actually helped me when I was divorcing. A lot was happening, and then running helped me to be calm, and then to understand that the divorce takes long, and then it helped me with my patience and everything. So running put me into my patient. My divorce finished in 2017. And then that's how long it took. And then the running helped a lot. And then when I was finding a lot of ladies were divorcing too and all that, that was helping me. And then others, the divorce was finished with them and all that. So that helped me. And then running went through. And then I was running since then. And then how I got into Comrades. So I started running, and then 10, 15, they not even 30, 21, 5. They said 42. And I was like, I will never run a 42. I lied. Then it was a 50. I said, I will never run a 55. And coming to Comrades, when I said, I will never run a 89, 90, I said, hold on, never say never. So on, I don't know, 2, 3 years before African X, we went for 13 Peaks. And then on the 13 Peaks, yeah, the first week, second week, third week, we came back from 13 weeks. It was me and Kazi, the lady that I gym with at Vision Active. They chose. So it was all old ladies, all old ladies. They chose me and Kazi to walk with them. Guys, people finish 6 hours that day, 7, 8. Do you know what time we came back? 11:25. That's when we came back that day on Sunday. And that's the day I said, I can do the Comrades. That's the day I did the Comrades. And then that year, they paid me and Kazi. We did the African X, that 3 days run. And after that 3 days run, I knew I could do the Comrades. That's where I ran last year. And then last year, I knew how I finished. I knew I was going to finish this year. So that's how it went. So, yeah.
Interesting journey, because some of the people I've spoken to over this last week or 2 weeks, when I asked them the same question, how did you get into running? either divorced or my children are grown up, so now I have time to exercise. You know, if you're welcome to drop your comments. If you've just tuned in, welcome, good evening. You can go onto Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, drop your comments. Kolisa says, we're here for you, and I'm sure you know Auntie Reika Sim, also been on the show before. She says, is an amazing woman. She's such an inspiration to so many. Keep up and keep inspiring. Your other friend, Zita, says, hello, Ino, sweetheart. Mama Antonia and I are watching you, my friend. We love you. Zolika saying, I'm watching you, my friend Ino. Brent, how does your story differ from these ladies? How did you get into sport? I mean, you've been you've been around the block. You played multiple sports. What got you into sport, and why do you still continue?
Yeah, I think sport is just another way of expressing yourself. You know, I'm in the education field, and I'm sure that explains why I need to run. Okay, I need to run to release all of that stress. You know, I however run a bit stupidly when I'm alone. You know, so I like to run with people. The company, I enjoy that. The crowd, I enjoy even better. When you're finishing that any marathon, it's really awesome. The main motivation behind me running is that I actually hated running, to be honest. You know, like everybody else, I seem to have started running at school, primary school. And then, you know, teachers said run from here to there. And I came first. And then now you're in the team. And then you're like in the team for almost like life, you know, a life sentence. And so we went like from primary school to of course high school, and I just couldn't get out of it. And the minute I stopped, when I finished high school, I stopped. I had enough of it. It's not that I didn't enjoy running. It's just that it took a lot of time. We used to train in the morning before school. We used to train in the afternoon, and nobody shows you any mercy when you still got to study and pass all of those assessments, etc. So it was quite tough. And I didn't get into it again because of people. It was a personal choice that I made. I discovered that, you know, health-wise, fitness level was dropping. And the best way I thought would be just to go and run. And the friends community that I kind of joined from actually your club, Omidrai, Ibrahima Darius, and Bernard Manum. These people, we were like really brothers, and they took me through the first few steps, from doing a 5K at Youngsfield in artery to eventually doing my very first in 2015, my first official races for VOB, and I haven't looked back since then. I like the new community, the groups with Must Love Hills and AR Running, you know, so those communities are really doing so much for running itself. And of course, all my sports, etc. It's just wonderful to have everybody all gets also connected. So that's kind of my story in terms of how I got started. So, you know, I got people who say, you're mad to go running. My brother will always say he gets tired just driving the route or looking at it on a map, you know. So you go through a lot of challenges. I've done like, so over like 10, but it's been a challenge every single time. It's hard work. It's brutal. It's no joke. And, you know, in my first Comrades, two people unfortunately passed, and the newspaper kind of report said that they suffered from an electrolyte imbalance. And you know, recently I attended our club's soup evening, and just to, you know, ask, there was a doctor, a gold medalist, who was one of the presenters and, you know, guests there, and I asked the question, what kind of sensations do you experience when you are experiencing an electrolyte imbalance.
Yeah.
Just to kind of warn myself, in in terms of I experience something like that. And I think I've run twice, probably not feeling 100%, which is not a good thing. But after putting in a year's training, that decision to kind of not start is really hard. And so I take my hat off to those who didn't, of course, get to the start, who made that decision, because it is really hard. And we get some silly people like myself who will run whether you're sick or not, injured or not, and that's actually not really good. Yeah.
Look, Brent, and you raised an interesting point. I had to go 12 years ago. We were in Neisner, and I took a group of people, similarly like I'm going to do in a week's time. And we went to Neisner to do the Oyster Festival. And this guy wasn't feeling well. He rode up the first hill, Samola Hill. He died literally that day of a heart attack because he exerted his body way beyond what was humanly possible with a flu. And I had to phone his family and say, listen, I'm sitting here at the George Hospital or Neisner Hospital with a corpse. So to those who are tuned in, please make sure that when you do run or when you do anything very strenuous, that you are taking precautions, that you are aware of what could potentially happen if you have flu-like symptoms, because it could lead to a heart attack, it could lead to death, it could lead to a stroke. So from that perspective, on that somber note, I would like to park that there. We're not going to get into a debate about it, but it is, and that's why you sign a waiver, that you sign at your own risk. I can tell you that I know of someone in Comrades who had to sign a waiver when they got to the medical, because the medical said, we're pulling you. They said, no, you're not. The medical took out a form and said, you are signing here that you are indemnifying us and indemnifying me, that you are going on your own steam. That's how serious it becomes. So we just need to bear that in the back of our heads. But let's talk about lighter things. My next question to all of you, and then I'm going to get to some comments. You're welcome to drop your comments in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. My question to all of you is, what kind of race strategy did you create in your head and in conversation with people as the second part of the question? My first part of the question is, what was your preparation to get you to the start line? Let's start with that one, and then we'll come to the race. So let's just answer the first one. What was your preparation like? Let's start with Ino.
Okay. My preparations was, it started, firstly, I will start with last year when I had to qualify, 2022. It was in 2022 when I had to qualify. It took me 3 marathons to try and qualify, and then I was failing. And then with that, it means I didn't have proper person or coach to coach me to do what I was supposed to do. So I ran Cape Town Marathon 2022. I didn't qualify. And then somewhere 2023, I went to Flagte, where everyone doesn't know where was Flagte. I went and ran the Flagte Marathon, and I didn't qualify even there. Then I went and ran Peninsula, our race, Celtics one. I had to ask at the club to run, and then they allowed me to go and run. And then I ran that one too, and then I failed. And then, but on the run, when we were running and everything, all the people mostly were failing in that race. So everyone was like, "Hi, we don't have to worry. JP and Verushka are doing the Vescas marathon, and then they will be doing a 450 bus." And then that's where my head goes spinning. And I'm like, 450. By the way, that's how we have to qualify, 450. and I was shaking in my boots. I ran the marathon, I finished, and shaking. And then when I finished running the peninsula, because I couldn't qualify, and I was running with someone who was supposed to help me to qualify that day. And then the person couldn't help me and everything. And I was running on a blank plan where I don't understand the pace, where I don't understand where I was and everything. I have the phone, the watch and all this. But all in all, I finished. When I finished, I looked for Verushka. I found her. I'm like, I've been hearing people were singing about you and JP. They say you are doing a 450 bus in Vescas, in West Coast. So I don't know how am I going to do this. But I would love to join you guys, but I don't know what am I putting myself through. And then she said to me, no, Innocentia, WhatsApp me and then I'll give you the details. And then if you come, you come. And then if you don't come, you don't come. But she said to me, but come, just try us and all that. That's what I did. And then that day at the peninsula, I was saying to everyone, and I didn't qualify. And me with disappointment, we don't get along. I was crying that day. I was crying and I was like, how am I failing? How am I not getting 450? Fine. So then a lot was telling me that day at Peninsula, you won't qualify. JP and Verushka are going to make you run your life out. You won't qualify. That is a difficult route. That is a difficult run. Wara, 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 wara. And I'm like, okay, fine. Came home. I was alone. I sit on the couch. I'm like, God, I just need 450. 450. How are the runners running 2 hours, 3 hours, especially 2 hours, especially those people in Kenya? 2 hours, they are running a 42. Me, I know. Double day, 450. I get. So I pray about it. And then I phoned Verushka. I'm like, give me the details. He put me in the group. The following week, I had to join them. That was the whole week. That was a terrible week for me, knowing that Saturday I'm going to join them. All in all, I went and joined them the first week. And then JP gives you a program for the week. Then I hated running by myself. That's the other thing. When you are a runner, you hate running by yourself. But then when JP gives you a program, you have to follow it. I had to run by myself Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, alone. And I had to have a plan of how I'm running. So this is my plan. In the morning, if I was running for 2 hours, 3 hours, or Saturday, 2 hours, 3 hours, this was my plan. The Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I run on the main road. I work at UCT Forest Hill. Park my car, 4 o'clock, run to Cape Town and come back. That's how I was doing it. And then coping. And then I joined them the first week, the second week, and then the third week. The fourth week, we went for Vescas to go and run there. But then the first week I was fine. The second week I was fine. The third week, the Sunday, panic mechanic came to me. I was shaking in my boots.
Tell
was
us.
shaking in my boots.
We don't want the whole journey. Tell us what happened when you got to the finish line. Tell us what happened when you got to the finish line of Westers.
So all in all, I trained with them, and then I went and ran the Vescas with them. So all in all, that day we ran 4 hours. We ran 4 hours 48. That's what we did. And then that's when I qualified, and I cried, and all in all, and then I couldn't believe that I ran like that. And then from there came the training to running my first Comrade and all that. So I ran the Comrades, and then last year I had a partner. I was running with Quentin, and then we ran nice. We ran 11:42 last year. So this year, yes, Quentin, Elton, you are right. Quentin was one of some of the people who had flu on Saturday. So he had to make a choice of, do I run or do I not run? So he made a good choice by not running. So I ran this year by myself again, and then at least this year I was able to run 11:22. So I PB my time of last year.
So Quentin made you slower to be able for you to run a PB,
No, no. It was not even
I'm
Quentin.
teasing you. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing
Ha,
you.
I
Let
know,
me
I know,
get.
I know. Yeah.
Let me get to some of the comments. So Leka says, I'm watching you, Kanasile says, well done, Pia says, go, superwoman. Maureen says, you're amazing. I remember meeting you at the FMB in 2016. Well done on your achievements from your favorite old lady. Natalie says, you are truly inspiration. Nadira says, super proud of my sister She's an inspiration and epitome of overcoming adversity. Liesel says, well done to all the runners. Zukiswa says, hello to my colleagues and keep it up, dear. You are an example to those women who are about to give up. Miranda Jackson says, well done, and to all the runners. Zukiswa says, Alton, keep up the good work. Thank you, Zukiswa. Maureen says, you're all champions. Use respect. Sandy says, keep up the good work. And well done, Sandra says, awesome, Liesel says, can we ask anything about the race? We had this chat on Tuesday in the office, and we all had one question. You can ask your question, Liesel, put it in the chat. Zukiswa says, hello, keep up the good work. You're an inspiration. Sophia says, proud of my daughter, Nancy. Mommy watching from Paul. All the way from Paul, man. Nancy lives in Durban, but her mommy lives in Paul. So. Well done. Zuki says, we are learning in life that there's always a starting point. Viva, my love. Anthea Johnson says, well done, comrades. I hope you are all resting. Well done to you also, Anthea, on your finish. Zita says, followed your journey to your first Comrades. I saw how hard you worked and how many marathons you entered and eventually got it. You qualified after all that hard work to, where are we? To get it. You qualified and you prayed about it. Well done. Shanaz Sonde says, amazing, congratulations, and thanking all three of you for your sharing your stories. Anthea says, hard work pays off, and to the runners. Sophia says, Brent, well done from our neighborhood. Sophia Rousseau Brent.
Okay.
Sampiwe says, thank you for having me, and what an experience from you for your champions. Thank you for the invite, Nancy. Nadira says, never a down moment with that's how we love her. I agree with you, Nadira. No comment. Well done to the Comrades finishers from the Boko. Gertrude says, well done, Nancy, coming to you, and I know that you spent some time in Cape Town, also running all over the show to qualify to get this coming out of nothing into your first Comrades. What was that journey like for you? I mean, and her story. What is your story?
Well, as I said, my decision started last year at Comrades. So I always support Yaku, and he's my mentor as well. So I went to him and I said, Yaku, I'm doing Comrades. And he said, Nancy, Comrades is mental. You need to train. It's tough, but Comrades is mental. So until last week, Sunday, then only I understood what he meant when he said it's mental. Okay. So with regard to training, yeah, it's crazy. But so with regards to training, I'm quite blessed, fortunate. I have amazing running friends that would check in with me every day, that would give me the guidance. I would check in with Yaku every time. I would register for every race that there is. I was quite blessed to have someone amazing in my life who helped me to write programs for me. That kept me on track. It kept me accountable. That I sincerely appreciated that and loved having that. That's what we all need, actually, especially for training for Comrades. So yeah, so I was just traveling, as you said. I love traveling and I love running. So I was like, then Gauteng, then Cape Town, Durban, wherever. I even went to do Cosmos in Secunda. Yeah, that was crazy. But I was there, right? Because also in preparation for Comrades, you must do all the crazy things. You have to, right? It's part of the fun as well. So anyway, so I did my first my first marathon was Cape Peninsula. I did it and I qualified and I was like, whoo, I'm done. The stress is off. Now I can train. And the crazy thing is, at Cape Peninsula, as I came in, I only heard 18 seconds remaining. And I'm thinking there's only 18 seconds remaining before the time is up, right? I was sprinting in. So when I got in, I'm like, oh, 4:47. Oh, okay, so I was like quite happy, quite relieved. And from there, I was able to just focus on training, which I actually enjoyed much more. So yeah, so I had my people checking in with me. I even have an awesome friend that would be like on my diet. Did you eat today? And what did you eat? Because also with Comrades, nutrition is so important. And just having people in my life that kept me accountable throughout the year, throughout my Comrades training journey was really, really awesome. And all the love, all the support, all the patience from everyone trying to juggle everything in life. You need that people that's understanding, that will not take anything personal if you said no, or and you actually arrange your whole life around running. That's what I ended up doing. And 80% of my friends now are just all runners. So that's quite awesome. So that has really been the best part of my journey. Yeah.
And how did you manage having a young son and having to go and do all these runs?
My son is so awesome. He's just the best. Like, really, I actually bought him at the Comrades Expo. Okay, that's not the end part, but anyway. So I bought him a T-shirt to say future Comrades runners, and I gave it as a gift to him. And I said, "Oh, thank you so much for all your support and your patience with me." He's like, "I'm not doing Comrades." I said, I'm just saying thank you. Nevertheless, yeah. No, he's been, as I said, he's been very, very awesome, very patient with me. It hasn't been always easy. I mean, especially with training, having to go out early in the morning, having to prep everything at night for him to see that, by the time that I get back, or by the time sometimes I'll still be running and then already his transport is there. So I have to stop training for 10 minutes and just sort the logistics out and then check, okay, everything is on track. Then it's like, okay, he's fine now. I can continue training again. Or even after work, first having to come home and then go, or first sometimes having to leave from work, but then always having to check in the whole time. So yeah, I'm super blessed to have such an awesome teenager that's been so patient with me. Yeah.
Good. Brent, how was your preparation, Brent? Because every time I opened Strava, Brent Morgenrood was gone for a run with a whole list of people that was him.
Yeah, I think I've got a nice community. I created a little group with some buddies called Love to Run. It's not as big as like MLH and AR, etc. But there are some runners who are so motivated, some who want to get back into it after injury, they've been through a lot, and who kind of don't want us to stop the group and don't want us to stop like kind of inspiring them. Yeah. So my faith took a bit of a more serious turn, and Sunday I only did a race on a Sunday. Didn't really the morning I've got to go to service. So we did this little late run in the afternoon on a Sunday, about 23 Ks. So the just the impact of that and my whole training routine changing. I used to then combine sometimes. If I couldn't make the Sunday run, I had to combine the Sunday and together with the Saturday run. So I followed, of course, Coach Barry's program, but you can never follow a program to the T. There's always going to be a twist and turn here. Family's first, and then work gets in the way, and then you're not feeling well, maybe picked up a niggle here, etc. And your plans will have to kind of change. So it takes about a full. Normally in January we start, and we work our way through. There is a bit of kind of movement in December, etc. But with all the festivities and celebrations and that, you start your diet, etc. goes out the window there. But the big races coming up, so we do then the local races such as the Boitumelo we start there, and the Radial Classic maybe. With extra 6K, I just go for the full one. So my training didn't go according to plan. I normally do about four marathons. I only did one, which is the Cape Town. I went away for the Peninsula, was sick for Radial, and Vescus. There just wasn't enough bigger team to go. I wasn't going to drive through the morning alone, so we just kind of ditched that one. Yeah. So it's hard work. Tuesday, Thursday, the usual kind of club get together. I don't really do speed work. I don't really like it. I know it makes you faster, but I don't want to get faster. I just want to finish, And
Yes.
speed kills, So there's no need. I'm into longevity running, Alton and ladies. So it means that I want to run tomorrow again. So when you go out really hard, it hurts, man.
And you're not young anymore, Brent.
Exactly. I'm kind of, over it. Yeah. But running keeps me alive. So and like I said, it's therapeutic. I can release that stress, and and I know people say it makes you tired. Yeah, I feel so refreshed after that run, to be honest. And I'm sure the ladies can, as well as yourself, you can kind of agree with that. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Let me get to some of the comments. So Glenn Morris says, "Bravo, Brent. Did my first one this year. It was great." Paul Diedrichs, who's been on the show, says, "Well done to the three of you and to everyone out there who got medals." Ali Yen says, "Hey, sister, I'm proud of you from heels to dresses to sneakers to tank tops. We love you from Stellenbosch." I don't know to which one of the three, or which one. It can't be to Brent because he's not the sneakers and tops and dresses. Frida says, "My lovely friend, you're looking beautiful." Zakiswa says, "Wow, Nancy, keep it up." Frida gives a big heart. Frida says, "Love this woman named Ino." Tasneem Alexander says, "Well done, ladies and gent. Loving your story." Donovan Martin says, "Well done to the Comrades finishers. Got faith in Ino." Kitty Cat says, "You guys are great." Paul Diedrich says, "Brent is fast enough without speed work." Brent, I'm not going to comment on that because I know you have a long history. Glenn Morris says, "Brent, you are really an inspiration. I did my first Comrades now, which is awesome. Finished. Thanks for your belief in me." That's from Glenn. Says, "Well done all, especially Ben flying the Kenwan flag. Clearly, she's connected to your school there, Brent."
Yeah.
So now that you've done your preparation, everybody, or let me take a step back. One of my clients had the view that unless they do 1,500 kilometers from January to race day, they're not going to run the race comfortably. That is his strategy every year, Brent. And he's an 8-hour, 8:15 finisher. So in his head, I've got to train 1,500 kilometers on my legs to be able to run in his view, a comfortable Comrades. Okay? Everybody is different. My question to each of you, this up run, everybody says, was the toughest. I know many people quit and got pulled off because of medical. They didn't make the cutoff. Some people ended up in the ambulance. We'll go reverse now. Let's start with Brent. I want to give each of you 2.5 minutes. Listen, 2.5 minutes. Go straight from Pietermaritzburg, from Durban to Pietermaritzburg, not along Joburg to Pietermaritzburg. Ne?
All right. That is, I will make it short and sweet for you.
Short and sweet. My question to each of you, hold on. My question to each of you, starting with Brent, what was your race strategy and what was your plan? And did it work?
Yeah, I've kind of had three plans. Plan A was sub 10, plan B, sub 11, and plan C, a finish. Plan, plan A didn't work. Plan A didn't work. It worked for 3 years, the 3 year before this. Plan B. Actually, there was a moment where I thought plan C was going to come into effect. I got one of my old friends, PJ, along the route, and he said, "Come on, man, if you really want it." And I said, "Well, I really want a lot of things, but at this moment, just not working, you know." And fast bike things to say, and I hooked up with Mr. O's bus at about 7 k's to go. He looked like he was struggling there as well. And at 3 k's to go, he says, "Go for it. Go on your own now," because he's not going to make it. Sadly, he didn't make the 11-hour cutoff, but I mean, of course, 11:01, he just missed it. But you know, just going out there on your own, it's a, look. I don't really run with a bus or anything like that. I hook up so now and then. Yeah, I know JP, I know Barushka, they lovely, good, solid bus drivers and get you there. The one also, all these other people, you know. So basically, the strategy was, as always, is go out as kind of as safe and as hard as I can, and you know, by going in so far, there'd be enough for you to just walk to the finish. That's kind of so it's not like where the wheels fall off the bus, but you know, comfortable enough with yourself. Yeah. But I wasn't feeling too well, man, and I was going up to about 30 k's that I started experiencing some nausea, and I couldn't shake that, and I had to then adapt and change the plan, etc. So the minute I tried to up the pace, you know, it just got worse. So then I realized, in the lovely words of my wife, "You got a family, you know, and you got to come back to us." So I wasn't going to do anything stupid. So I just, you know, just played the card that I was dealt, and just I knew I could get to the finish line, and that's exactly what I did. Yeah.
Because a lot of people had the strategy of go slow and pick up at the back end. You know, what was your strategy?
Let's see. My strategy was sub 11, of which I'm confused. Sub 11 and 10. Yeah, but anyway, I was looking for sub 11. That was a plan 1, plan A. Plan B was me running with Quentin, ne? And then plan C was finish. Finish as long as it will be before 12 hours. So those are the 3. So when Quentin said he's not running the night, then I didn't even have a plan. I was like, in shit. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, okay, now I was with Kenny from my club. So I went to Kenny because we went in the same bus. I'm like, "Kenny, what is your plan tomorrow?" He said to me, Mr. Vetsa is his plan. And I'm like, yes, at least I ran his few runs and all that. And I'm like, that's my plan. And then I will run with him. And then that's it. Really, I didn't have a plan. Finish, that was fine. I ran Sunday with with Vetsa and his daughter. So I ran with them the first round, plus minus 43, 44. I don't remember. And then we got lost. I lost them. And then when we were running, I was running with a lady by the name of Renee from In Touch. So we were running nicely there. And another lady from Fat Cats. So the 3 of us, we were running. So we lost Vetsa and the daughter. And then the 3 of us ran together. Anyway, we ran. And then they kept on going to the toilet and I kept on running and everything. All in all, it came to the last 22. So the last 22, I ran it by myself because I couldn't see Renee anymore. I couldn't see the lady from Fat Cats. And then for me, there I ran to the end with the body aching, feet burning, toes aching. My body was aching everywhere. And all I remember, everyone say, any pain, take it, and then just go to the finish. That was that. And the other thing that made me move, 2 medals. Remember, finish, I'm getting 2 medals. So that was moving me. So the 22Ks, I ran it nicely by myself. The 4Ks, I ran to the last because now I was finishing. And then when I came in before the grass, I was like, I finished, and then I saw the time. I was like, as long as I am finished. So this is how I finish my race. So training, it works. It works, Nancy. Training, it works. And then for me, I'm thankful with JP and Verushka, and then with Quentin doing all the runs with me, with everyone who was helping me and all that. And then I have the best mom that moved in with me, and then she was cooking for me. So cooking and everything was fine. I have the best boyfriend ever who doesn't even have a problem with me running, but I was making time to go and see. But then, yeah, you have to have, as Nancy said, you have to have the best people to support you. If you don't get that support, you won't be able to cope. So, yeah, the support helps a lot. Yeah.
Definitely. And when you crossed that line, you were smiling. I could see because you were very happy there.
I was very happy. I couldn't believe, man. I couldn't believe, like, as Nancy said, they say, comrades is terrible. For me, comrades, I remember the way they, not even how the people were saying, they were saying, it's easy, you can run this. I couldn't understand them, but I was like, who runs for the whole day? And then who runs 11 hours and all that? But then again, my great grandmother was making us watch this when I was growing up. But when I ran it, I could understand Nancy. I could understand what they are saying. And it's the first time for me. I'm proud of myself running 11 hours 22. This time, when I say I'm proud of myself, I was feeling it and I meant it. The whole time I was like, I'm proud of myself. But this race, comrades will humble you. It's brutally. And yes, you have to be strong, mentally, physically, emotionally. If you haven't trained, don't go and run 11 hours. And you can't. You need to be training the way the 3 of us are training. You have to be there. And when it's raining, you have to go and run. Yeah. When it's cold, you have to go and run. There's no excuses on the run. I've never had flu for 2 years on how I trained and everything. So you have to train very well. Guys, before you go to do this, train. Train and have, Nancy, have a coach, have people who are coaching you. Don't go and run and you think that you are running a 10 and a 21, and then you think you are going to run 87 Ks. It's not a babies. You won't play. Yeah, you can't play with it. You can't.
Nancy, what was your race strategy, Nancy?
Okay, so obviously the famous 3 plans. So A was sub 11, B 11:30, C just to finish. Finish with a smile and still feel normal and alive, and yeah, so that was my plan. Yeah, from kilometer 30, 35, I hit the wall. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? You know how far 85 kilometers is? So yeah, and that's how I'm like, but this is not normal. Like 35, you're still fresh, you know, like, how's this possible? So I literally had to break it down and be like, okay, I'm going to break it down in 20s, 20s. And then I felt better. Okay. So then every 10 kilometer only, I will check my watch. But yeah, by Botas, I was struggling, sincerely struggling. I actually had one of my teammates came past me at that moment where I'm still feeling sorry for myself. He patted my arm. He's like, Nancy, you've got this. You're doing great. You're doing so well. And I felt so sorry for myself at that moment. I'm like, okay, I've got this. So I kept on, I kept on running. When we got to Boitumelo, he literally held my hand. Like we did the run walk strategy, and he was so awesome. He was holding my hand every time we ran, and then was like, okay, fine. After that, I was okay. I joined. There was a social bus that I joined for when we passed Harrison Flats and Cater Ridge. That area, everybody was saying it was so tough. I didn't even feel that because I was in the middle of the group being short. I didn't see anything around me when we went through. I saw when we got to Umlas, I was like, woo, we're here, Then I knew 25 Ks left to go, so I was fine. But the mental part really got me a lot, I will admit again. And yeah, so I was on the bus, that social bus, for quite a bit. Then at one of the water stations, I fell off. Then the 11 o'clock, the sub 11 bus came. So I was like, okay, let me just trot along with them. I stayed a bit until kilometer 3, until there were 3 kilometers left. And then I was like, I'm making peace. I'm not going to do sub 11. And it's okay. It's super fine, So I was like, let's adjust my plan. And actually, in one of the talks, Comrades talks, they said you have to have a bag. You must have a bag that you can delve in to be like, why am I doing this again? So at the time when I was also thinking about now I'm changing my plan from sub 11, I was thinking, my friends that's actually tracking me will know when I'm going to finish before I finish because the system is actually giving them a predicted finish time. So I was like, it's okay. It's super fine. And then as I went down, so when it got to 1.4 kilometers and I checked my watch, I'm like, I was supposed to be done by now because I was on 86 then already. So I got quite annoyed with myself at that moment. So I was like, I just want this race over now. I'm making peace. I made peace with my time. I just want to get done. So I did the run walk. There were people coming from behind saying, come on, Nancy, not giving up. I said, I'm not giving up, but I'm also not running. And I'm okay. Even when we went inside the race course eating the grass, I was like, I've got nothing to prove to no one. I've got it. My medal is in the bag. I'm just going to take it easy because I still want to finish with a smile, So it's okay. So that was my plan. And I finished 11:04. And I was quite happy with myself. Like you say, like it's you doing it. And that's the best part. You're doing it for you. You've got nothing to prove to no one. It's a personal achievement. And also everybody supporting you are also winning with you, like they are also proud of that moment because they've been part of your journey. So it's a big win for all, So that was me.
Thanks, Nancy. Let's get to some of the comments. Frida says, Ino has been running since high school. I have the evidence. Frida's got evidence on you. Basil says, well done, Ino. Love it. Back to back, you did it. Hope to see you next year for your third Comrades. Basil says, if you go for your third Comrade, you get a triple back to back.
No, Basil, I'm not coming.
Zukisma says, short and sweet hands, yellow heart, red hands, yellow heart, red hands. Clearly, that's a code for something. Alison says to Nancy that we love her so much and that Jariq is going crazy here because his titties on TV.
Oh,
so you're famous.
Awesome.
Says, we're proud of you. Peter says, those 3 medals look very heavy around your neck. You must be careful. You don't get a whiplash or something. Keep up. Zuki says she's behind you. Varushka says, congratulations to all the Comrades panel. Well done to you also, Rushi, for finishing. Rushi's been on the show. Yusuf Kanoni's been on the show. Yusuf says, good evening. I'm watching all the way from Amsterdam, and well done to the Comrades runners.
Wow.
Petrus Campus says, everyone, nice to listen to the stories. Congratulations on your performance. And then Frida says again, you guys motivate me so much. Please have another talk so I can get more tips on how to prepare. Frida, definitely we'll have another show. And I'm planning on doing one called the Coaches Corner. We will get some of the coaches like Petrus and 1 or 2 others to talk about their coaching strategies. I've spoken to Lindsay. I'm still waiting on Lindsay to come back from the Olympics, and then we'll have a conversation around preparation. Not necessarily about comrades, but in general, coaching tips.
Yeah.
Guys, we're coming to the end of the show. My closing question to each of you. I'll give you each 2 minutes. Why are you still going to continue exercising, and how has it changed your life? Why and how? Let's start with Nancy, then we go to Eno, and then we'll end with Brent. Ladies first. From small to tall. You know the teachers say from small to tall. From the first, second to the most comrades. Small to
Even
tall.
though I started, so I must finish as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so my why I started running was for weight loss. It really helped me to keep consistent with my weight loss journey. So that was good. And then also what it did, I always say like running serves me well. So I love running because it really gives you that sense of achievement, that personal achievement. It gives you peace of mind. It really helps you to relax and just feel good in general. It just helps you to feel more positive in general. So that is my why. And then what was the other part? Sorry.
Why would you continue doing this? Why are you continuing doing this? And what motivates you for why would you tell me to continue? Why would you get me to run? Me being the viewer.
Oh, well, as I said, running serves me well. It's always just served me well. So, and it's something that, yes, it becomes expensive when you have to get into the running shoes and the running gear, and it kind of gets addictive, having to buy all these nice shoes and nice things and being in every expo that you can be, so it does get expensive and addictive. But the why, personally, it serves me well. So if you want to do something that you doing it for you, you don't need others. Obviously, you need to manage your time and your life. That's a given. But something that you can just, even if you just have 15, 20 minutes to yourself, you can just go out, hit the road, whether it's up or down, left or right. It's safe to do so. If it is safe, then go and have fun and enjoy. And when you come back, you feel so good. Even like Brent was saying he doesn't love speed. I love speed. Like I love it. Just that adrenaline rush that it gives you, like for me, I'm fortunate enough to be close to the beach, the ocean. I love running on the beach, even in the loss, but even if you have injuries, it's so much better if you still have to train, depending on what level of injury you have. Like I would consult with you as well, Elton. Like just running at the beach on the shoreline, just that, it's just so therapeutic. It just serves me well. So yeah, so that's why I love running. It serves me well.
Yeah. Thanks, Nancy. Are you going to continue this crazy sport?
Yes. Yes, I am going to go. Why? Let's see. For me, the why, when I started running, especially now, when I'm older like this, it helped me to be patient. It helped me to be healthy. That's number one. But yeah, this time I lost more weight when you are training too much. So it helped me to be patient. It helped me to be healthy. And then even running, at least I got other people to wanting to start running. And then like now I give a lot of advices how to start running. And in Cape Town, I tell everyone to start at the common by walking. And then they will get fine, and then that will be fine. On that note, I remember I gave one person, it was a student of mine. I forgot his name. I said he must start at the common, and then he went at the common. Right now, he's almost to a professional runner. But I said I gave him the advice, and then he took it. So yeah, we start there. So I might have a lot of people that I might still take at common to make them run. Oh yeah, to start running for them. Yeah. And then what does the second one?
why are you? Why you want to get me to run? Why did you get that student to run?
Um, listen, when I was running, I don't know. It's when we are wearing our especially ladies, we are so gorgeous and so sexy when we are wearing our running clothes. And with me, when I'm wearing and all that, I don't know. I was feeling a little bit sexy because it may, especially the shorts, man, and the you must be a little bit tight. But then the other thing is, it's I think I was developing nicely on my runs. Uh, he was liking even when I come back with the medals and all that. So there, I got his name, Antonio. Antonio, Antonio with the big hair. He was a
Yes,
student in my rest. Yeah, in my rest where I was working. So every time he was seeing me, and then one time he came after a year or some couple of months. He said, "How can I start running?" So I told him he must start at the common. So of which he did, and then he continued running. And then like again, how I'm getting a lot of people, especially at work. At work, there's a lot of ladies that are running because I tell them to start at the common, and then sometimes I was with them, and then like now I'm able to still go and run with them. Sometimes when I want that uh, um, slow
slow run.
pace, yeah. So I get them. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. You'll see. I'm going to get a lot of people to run.
Okay, as long as they come join the club, you know. Brent, from your
Yeah,
perspective,
maybe.
why are you doing this, Brent?
Yeah. Right. The situation is such the rewards you get, intrinsic, extrinsic, health, etc. The camaraderie, the fellowship, the team spirit, the gears, all of that. That's just amazing. Just to quickly, where in the world, and to everybody else, you should not stop right now. It's hard to come back. That's why the uprun is
No.
so hard now, because it has been away for a while, so it's hard to do it now. So
So
in
are you
20,
saying must I go back for the
yes,
comrades next year?
Yeah,
no,
keep going.
listen,
Get the green
listen,
number. Get the green number.
yeah, get the suggestion. In 2010, in 2010, I, together with all finishers, received a Guinness World Record certificate for the most runners competing in an ultra marathon, the most ones that have finished, of course. And I think in the centenary year, it's going to be just as big, right? So if you keep going until then after that you can decide whether you want to continue or not. But if you stop, it's going to be really hard to come back. So running also, to answer one of those questions, is that where in the world do you get a beginner, a novice, running with a champion, in the same event? You can't do it in rugby, you can't do it in soccer, and on the road, comrades, for instance, you can do it. So the other rewards, Alton, for you, I know you do run, so um, the medal out there, you play for a whole season sometimes, and you get absolutely nothing. Every time you run, you're gonna get a medal. Okay, or a pair of socks, or a buff, or whatever they're gonna. But at
Yes.
least there's something kind of immediate in terms of you, of course, finishing. Yeah. So running is just so amazing, and it's as I told you before, it's therapeutic for me, and I'm sure it's therapeutic for many others out there.
Absolutely, Ben. We're coming to the end. Let me get to some of the comments. Tokozana says, listening to Ino all the way from her hometown in Gauteng, Pretoria.
Okay.
Fahim
Hi.
says, well done, guys. Go, Nancy, proud of you. Ryan Sanger, who's also run Comrades a few times, says, congratulations to all the Comrades runners, and especially to my buddy Brent. Ryan's a prolific ex-soccer player as well. We won't go into that story, eh, Ryan? Riaz says, as a regular viewer of your interviews, the running thing is another level of insanity. Quite enjoyed Eno and Nancy's contributions. If I ever do Comrades Elton, please tell me that I have a book. No, you won't do Kiswa says, I put my hat up to you all. Paul says, there Eno Antonio Gambino, he runs for Maslav Hills now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Peter says, congratulations to all three of you. God bless you on your journey. And thank you also, Elton, for hosting the show. Letitia Lewin says, Eno is a true inspiration. Guys, you are all inspirational. And as I'll say this, like I say every week, you don't know who's watching you. Just by the actions of what you do, you inspire everybody else. Not only you guys, but even everybody that you've got to come and listen to tonight. They feel inspired by you. They're here because you've done something great. Let's go out and continue that message. Share it and get other people to also feel as great as you feel. And that's what this is about. It's about growing the footprint of sport across the country, that they have a healthy nation, happy with what they do. So thank you for being in. We'll be back next week. Next week Wednesday. Same time, same power rotation in Gauteng. So she's in a power rotation. It's not load shedding, she says, it's power rotation. So hopefully next week a power rotation won't be at this time. She turned 65 today and she finished Comrades last week. So I wanted to chat with her and she'll join us next week and we'll get one or two others to come and join us. Paul says, thank you for showing all the people how to be extraordinary. 100% Paul. We're all extraordinary by doing what we do every day. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Same time, same place. Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.